Hey Rangers, today I am here with a Super Ninja Steel review. This is episode 1, which is Echoes of Evil, and I've got to admit, it actually was a good episode. There was one or two little things that I didn't like, and there's a lot of things that need to be explained. So let's jump in straight to review and begin. So it opens up with quite an interesting one, because I thought this was coming up much later on, and this is Poisandra, Sledge, and Wrench just boom, straight out of the portal of the Dino Charge universe and straight into the canon universe. I have to admit, I didn't see that one coming as an opening, but it does kind of explain something much later on. Sledge is now looking for energems, and Wrench is like, nope, there's none in this universe. We can't sense anything, so there was none at all. So you kind of think like, okay, that's quite interesting. They find Madame Odious's ship, and they find like this asteroid, which is very attractive to them, has the Super Ninja Steel, and they know, oh my god, it's the Super Ninja Steels in this asteroid, or something like that, as Wrench says. And this is when Sledge and Wrench actually go onto the ship with another person, which you kind of think of, where did they pick that person up in that small amount of time? One of the new characters is Badona, I think it's Badona, which is a person that is now staying behind. Sledge and Madame Odious meet, they start talking, and Sledge is like, yeah, I'll fix your entire ship, I'll make it as brand new, back to what it was, even better, but I want that asteroid. And this is when Madame Odious is like, yeah, whatever, just pretty much go out. But this is when Badonia turns around, or Badona, she says, oh, actually, you know, I know some stuff. I know some cheeky things. I know that if you turn around and if you give Sledge the asteroid, it has all the Super Ninja Steel. And Madame Odious is like, oh, Super Ninja Steel. Kinda need that right now. This is when they abstract all the Super Ninja Steel. Sledge has finished the entire ship, and then boom, off they go and they fly off, which we're probably going to see much later on when Sledge gets really annoyed. It's like, you took this away from me, rah, rah, rah. And this is when Madame Odious is like, I gave you the asteroid, as you said, you didn't need the Super Ninja Steel. You know it's going to happen, you know it's going to go on. So Badonia stays with them. Obviously then Galaxy Warriors comes back because the ship is up and running. It's back. It's working as fine as it is, which again isn't too bad, but still it's kind of thinking like, oh, okay. You know, obviously we're going to see what happens with this. Galaxy Warriors is back. It's going to be fun. Now, the Rangers all come back to high school, and you think that's fine, and it is. It's just kind of like everyone's like, oh, I'm so glad to be back. Brody's dad puts away the trophy back into the case. With Victor and Monty coming back in, I was actually generally impressed because it made me giggle, that advert. When Victor is dressed up as an old woman, and when Monty asks, would you buy this product? And she's like, yes, I would buy it. I actually burst out laughing because it was actually just one of those funny moments. That's the only funny moment I've actually had with them, and it's gonna change. It's so gonna change. So in that time, Victor and Monty have made this thing called Victor and Monty's Magical Monster Repellent. It's a fart in a can. I generally thought they would have got over the fart stuff because the fandom has literally said it doesn't need to. And you kind of think that they would listen, but it feels like they haven't. So Victor and Monty donate $1 million to the school, and everyone's like, oh my god. But they make this whole announcement that they're not going back. They're done with school, they're not returning, you know, they're going to go and live off their fortune, which we found out at the end of the episode, which is about $10 million. So anyway, so that's the whole thing. They're going to disappear, and you think, yes, please stay away. But no, Redbot contacts the Rangers and says, hey, you need to get down to the base. So the Rangers get to the base and they find out that there is an alien ship heading towards Earth, and they're all like, oh my god, what's going to happen? And suddenly Mick teleports in, and he's back. He's back from the Lion Galaxy. You know, he wants to help the Rangers because he's found out that Galaxy Rangers is back, and he shows them on like this kind of like futuristic holo display, which then has Madame Odious saying, hey, you know, this is going to be a good season, which I kind of thought was a shout out saying like this season is going to be the best one. Time will tell on that one, guys. Time will tell. The Madame Odious has the first monster, which is the Smellephant. Smellephant's ability is that he can smell out the prism. So the Rangers say that Madame Odious is under the impression that the prism is still working, that it's all powerful, and this is what she wants. So this is the reason why she's going to send down Smellephant down to get the prism to find out. This is when Brody's like, okay, you know, we could give them, but we're going to go with this idea. Let's draw them in, you know, we can get them back, etc., etc. And this is when Redbot goes like, hey, you guys need your comms, which you think in that time you could have upgraded them because they're so giant. Like, I would turn around and redesign that entire one. Oh, it needed to be done quite badly, but again, they're just really, really too big. The Rangers move the prism underneath the statue of Victor because for some reason he's got a statue. Madame Odious, Badona, and Smellephant have now arrived on Earth. They're going towards the statue, they're about to take it, and then every single person has got Victor and Monty's like monster repellent, and they all just kind of jump in, and they're like, monster be gone, and they start spraying all the monsters, and basically you're just spraying poo. It made me giggle a bit. Everyone's like, yeah, this is gonna work, and Smellephant sucks up all the smell. Yeah. And then everyone's like, this doesn't work, and throws it down, and they all get angry. That part is a part for much later on. So at this point, Preston then starts casting a spell and to create a cage that will drop down on the bad guys so they capture them, they can't escape. But at this point, as the Rangers are doing it, they're all together, and this is when Madame Odious kind of like reverses it and actually captures the Rangers. And you think, that's quite cool. She revives the prism and she says like, yes, I can actually bring this prism back. I can revive it with a super ninja steel because they have all the super ninja steel with them at one point. And this is one thing that I'm going to touch upon at the end. Madame Odious says, I'm going to revive it. I'm going to make it evil. And she starts doing it. This is when the Rangers get out of the cage by using Preston's magic. And then they start fighting Badonia and Smellephant. But Brody jumps over and actually runs towards Madame Odious and actually like kicks her down and stops the spell, which was almost complete apparently. Why didn't you just bring some CUDA bots? Just like thousands of CUDA bots, and that would have been able to stop it, and it would have been so cool. So cool, we could have had an even prism, and it could have done stuff. So with Madame Odious defeated very briefly, the prism actually then sends out loads of ninja stars, pretty much all the ninja stars that they had, the element stars, the morphing stars, the lion star, the power-up stars, whatever star that they had, pretty much they kind of brought back, and it was really cool to see. So it's a very basic thing, the Rangers fight, there is not a lot going on, there's not much of a fight scene. Smellephant gets defeated, Smellephant grows, Brody calls on the Lion Fortress Sword, boom, you know, straight away, Smellephant is taken down really easily. Madame Odious is like, right, okay, this was a setback, I know the Rangers' weakness, it's not going to be long until I actually defeat them. Boom, that's pretty much it. And then the scene that doesn't really need to be in it. We're back at the high school. Victor and Monty are running away from a mob because they want their money back. They're pretty much torn to shreds and they're like, oh Victor, we've not got any money because we're broke. They don't need to be in it. And suddenly the mob's like, yeah, I just can't be bothered. They fade away. And this is when the teacher goes, oh, your check bounced. You're all no, just no. And then she allows them to stay and actually do the entire whole semester or the year, which we're probably going to get some more hijinks from them. And this is, again, as I said at the very beginning, they have lost $10 million. $10 million for farting in a can. And then it wouldn't be the end part until we actually get the, oh my god, the fart has gone off in the can, so it has to be funny. And all over the place, and then that's when the episode ends. And if you took out that last scene and maybe added a bit more for Sledge saying like why he did it, how he survived, because some of it just doesn't make sense at the moment. We have now been confirmed that the Dino Charge, which again wasn't that hard anyway, was a different dimension, and now the Rangers are possibly back in the canon universe, or they're in their own separate universe, etc, etc. But it's now been confirmed, so we're going to be talking about that in a later on video when I actually have some time to think about how it could be done. My final thoughts is, it was nice. It was actually a strong episode. I actually generally enjoyed this one more than the previous season. Now, I've got to admit, when I watch a season, I prefer the second season more to the first because obviously you've got more time with the Rangers, you've got more time with like the characters, and you know who they are. Victor and Monty, they generally did make me laugh with their TV advert. They did also have a flashback, which I forgot to mention, where they're farting all over the ship. I generally think that if you had taken all this out, the farting at least, maybe the flashback I'll give because it's how did you think about that type element. But the rest of it, it's the farting at the end kind of lowered the tone for the episode. You had a really strong start, you had a strong middle, and then you just kind of let the ball drop. And I don't know if it's generally if you're trying to get laughs now, but yeah, it was a bit. There were so many things, like again with the Super Ninja Steel. If you're turning the Nexus Prism evil, you would have had Kudabots, not just had two monsters. That just generally annoyed me because you know exactly what the Rangers are capable of, so you plan for this. So it feels like Madame Odious was like, I just don't care. I also did like when the Prism was turning evil, you heard the roar, and I actually kind of thought that was really cool. Now again, I would have had that as like the Prism just before it turned evil, shot out the Ninja Stars to the Rangers, or maybe one was infected or something, and then it turned evil, and then the Rangers had to go get the Prism. That would be a really cool story. But yeah, and also the whole thing of like having all the Super Ninja Steel with you at one time. I generally think that you could have taken the Super Ninja Steel, one of them, and then left everything down or left the last three pieces on the ship, because now you've pretty much given it to the Rangers, and it just felt like a very badly written part of the thing, which I was kind of gutted about. But apart from that, I generally enjoyed the episode. I thought it was good, and I'm really looking forward to the next episode. So Rangers, what did you think about this episode? Do you think it was a strong episode? Do you think it was a good episode? What did you think about it? Do you think that Madame Odious should have had Kudabots? Do you think there should have been a bit more? And what do you think about Sledge's return? Let me know down below in the comments. And if you've liked this video, like, favorite, comment, and subscribe. Check out all the other videos on the channel. If you want to help out the channel on Patreon, link is in the description down below. And as always, Rangers, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in a bit.